This is another video about training techniques. This is one I like to call 10 a day. Hopefully that's pretty self-explanatory. You just do 10 of the tricks per day and then you're done. But, you know, failures don't count, so you have to get to 10. That's the thing. This training technique is good for solidifying a move that you can't do 100% yet. So you'll see on this video I'm trying to do the behind the back Steve, the version where you bend forwards. So this footage is slightly different. It's going to be me doing it, trying to get to 10 times on one day, and then a week later with doing it every day, trying to do 10 every day, do it again, and then it's better, hopefully. So the plan is every day you try and get 10 repetitions of the move. Not in a row, just whenever they occur. If the move isn't solid, you have to keep going through and failing until you get to 10 successful repetitions of the move. And then you get to stop. And you can go on to the next day. Sleep on it, get that learning, that free learning from sleep, the free learning that happens after you've done the trick, and then the next day you do another 10 whenever you can. This is obviously trying to do a little and often, so you get all the benefits of your brain learning it for you, as it were. And I should be able to do this already, because I kind of invented the move. I was like, oh, this is kind of embarrassing, especially the first time I go through it. I'm so bad at it. I mean, it doesn't help I'm wearing gloves and a giant hoodie, and it's freezing outside. It's pretty dire. And then a week later, after doing it every day, I try again. And actually the day beforehand I tried it in my glasses. I got them back, brand new lenses in, and unfortunately that went really, really well. And then I thought maybe it was the glasses that helped me. So today I put back on the same hoodie, the same sweatshirt as I did yesterday. So I put on the same sweater I put on the good day, and then also wore contact lenses to try and make it a little bit more of a good test. Yeah, it went okay. So if you look at the length of the videos, the first video is approximately 9 minutes, and the second video is approximately 4.5 minutes. So pretty much double the speed in which I could do 10 repetitions, and I think you'll see the second lot a lot cleaner. In this video I tried to do it as like a little test so that you could see that the technique was actually working. A little bit embarrassing because I thought I would be better at this trick, but I'm not. So this is a good training technique as well if you need if you just want to get it done and then be able to move on to something else. Maybe you have a lot of things to train. This is a way just to spend a short amount of time, relatively short amount of time, learning one thing before you go on to learn another. You can just easily quantify when you're finished training that one trick, which might be good for some people, it might not, but sometimes you just need to be like, I need to get to that number, and then you're done. And you can have that satisfaction of finishing your practice for that trick. And it can be quite easy to quantify your progress. There are other ways to increase the difficulty or change around this technique. So maybe you decide you want to get to 10 repetitions of doing a trick twice in a row, or maybe you want to get to 20 repetitions. Maybe you have to be extra hard on yourself and it's like 10 repetitions with no other movement, or 10 repetitions with it finishing extremely clean. Now, one thing that is important is every time I did this every day for the week, I did tend to learn new things about the trick, and I would try and think back to the previous days before I started and remember what I had learned. And this is a prime example of when it's good to have a notebook, but I'll touch on that in a future video probably. Because it's easy to go straight into practice and forget what you've learned the previous days. But writing it down or taking a moment to remember would be really helpful and really accelerate your learning. Also in the second lot of 10 that you'll see, the final test lot, I tried to end on a really good one. So pretty much all of them, by the time it was 7 or 8, I would get more critical anyway, and then try and make sure that number 10 was as perfect as I could be. So I always wanted to finish on a really good one. Not just for motivational purposes, but I think it helps learning to have that final example that your brain learns from to be the most perfect one it can be. So for me, this is a good training technique because I want to have that dopamine rush, that satisfaction of completing it every day. That makes me feel better, makes me feel like I'm making consistent progress. Even if I don't have to notice any particular progress between the sessions, but I know that I am learning. I feel like I could probably do this for another week and see how I go, and then decide to really blast at it. And then I would try and start working on integrating it more into flow, being able to do it just randomly in the middle of other tricks. Okay, so hopefully that was vaguely useful. I'm sorry you had to watch me fail at that trick so many times. Next week I will find something else to talk about that involves learning and training techniques. Okay, high five! Bam! So, yeah, okay.